Goodbyes suck. There's no way around them. They simply just suck. Have you ever had to say goodbye to your childhood best friend moving across the country? Or goodbye to a family member that meant a lot to you? Or goodbye to someone you loved? In Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Marianne is commissioned to go to a private island to paint a picture of Eloise. In the beginning, we don't know what will happen, if she will succeed or fail, if she will be there simply as a painter or become someone else. But there is one thing we do know. In the end, she will have to say goodbye. Before we go on, if you could please like the video. We create film relationship advice videos once a week, and it'll help out the channel tremendously. Before we talk about goodbyes, there's something we have to understand with the French language. There are two forms of the pronoun you, vous and tu. There's one little overlooked detail at the very end of the movie that English speakers don't catch. We'll get back to that. In French, tu is used with people you're familiar with, family and friends, and vous is used in a more professional and formal setting, with teachers, with strangers, people of authority.
C'est vous qui l'avez peint? Oui.
With Eloise and Marianne, they use vous throughout the entire movie, even after being intimate. They continue to use vous. How come? Aren't they more than familiar at this point? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure, but I speculate that the director Celine Sciamma kept vous throughout the film so the goodbye at the end would hit harder.
Retourne-toi.
Did you catch that? Eloise uses toi, the informal tu. This use of toi at the very end is the peak of their relationship. Their love for one another finally breaks the language formality and rule. When you hear vous the entire movie, then you hear Eloise use tu in her goodbye. You know that it's not simply just the tu. There's love and longing and loss, all in the change of a pronoun. Also, the phrase retourne-toi exactly mirrors the story of Orpheus and Eurydice, the Greek story told during dinner between the three women. To briefly summarize, while Eurydice and Orpheus are together, Eurydice dies. Orpheus tries to get her back from the underworld. She's allowed to go back as long as he doesn't turn around, which he does, eliminating any possibility of a future together. Marianne says he did this on purpose.
Il choisit le souvenir d'Eurydice. C'est pour ça qu'il se retourne. Il ne fait pas le choix de l'amoureux, il fait le choix du poète.
But Eloise says Eurydice told him to turn around.
Peut-être que c'est elle qui lui a dit. Retourne-toi.
So which one was it? I think it was both. Marianne and Eloise support the poet's choice. They believe in the art that can be created from the moments shared together. They both understand that there's no way for them to be with one another, so the memories are all they have left. Their time together, although it's no longer, it's beautiful enough. Eloise tells her to
Retourne-toi.
To culminate everything they have shared together, acknowledging the end and holding on to everything in between. A goodbye, an image of Eloise that haunted Marianne for many years. Love can last forever, but the person and your time with them is fleeting, and that's why it's so terrible, yet so beautiful. To combine something finite, us, our bodies, each other, with something endless, love, it just doesn't work. There's always an end for one before the other. So there's no perfect way to say goodbye. I know that's a cop-out. I don't think there are steps and rules to it. You can't plan ahead with step 1, hug, step 2, cry, step 3, wave and don't look back. It just doesn't work like that. But the only true way to make sure the goodbye is good is by making sure that the time you spent together was good. Making sure that you leaned in extra hard while you were with them, not too busy thinking about who they once were in the past, and not too busy thinking about who they will be in the future. The only guaranteed time is now. In 2014, on Valentine's Day, I opened up Google and I stumbled upon this doodle. It sums up everything perfectly.
We got married on Saturday, and on Monday we just went back to our day-to-day lives, and David was getting dressed to go into the office, and I was here in the apartment. It was pouring down rain, sort of all of family and friends were all leaving that day. And I got very sad and started to cry. I thought I had been so exhilarated over the weekend. I sort of at the age of 45, was that how old I was when we got married? It was like a teenage adolescent rush of adrenaline. I didn't know that my body was capable of feeling that anymore, but it had been that experience. And then came the crash, thinking, this will end someday. this will end. I thought, yes, my dear, that's true. One of us will die, and then the other will die, and it will be over. But we have now.
What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? How do you say goodbye? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe. We make videos at least once a week. Do you have a love story that reminds you of this? Email us at filmlovestories@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you, and we will see you in the next one.